The next review will be Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice for its 10th anniversary. Everyone, today is another Retrospective review. It's on Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, directed by Zack Snyder, written by Chris Terrio and Devious Goyer, starring Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and Jesse Eisenberg. Now, it's a very ambitious real crossover directed by Zack Snyder, bringing together the two of the DC's most iconic heroes, Batman and Superman. And the film serves both a sequel to Batman, it's both a sequel to Man of Steel and the foundation of DC Extended Universe, the first of DC shared universe. Now, the plot overview. Following the destructive events of Man of Steel, the world is divided on how to review Superman. Some see him as a hero, a savior, others fear him as a dangerous, godlike being. Then you get Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, is among those who distrust Superman, played by Ben Affleck, believing that he poses a threat to humanity. Determined to stop him, Batman prepares for a potential showdown. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, manipulates the events behind the scenes, pushing both heroes toward a conflict while advancing his own dangerous agenda. Unfortunately, I have to say, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is a very mixed superhero film. It's not bad, but it's fell short of its expectations due to the heavy, dark tone, but also the many plot points they have that is totally messed up because of the cuts that the director cut let out for the director's cut. I have not seen the open edition, so this is my honest opinion of the film that I saw, you know, in TV in the movie theater long time ago. Unfortunately, the script early promise uh, early promise uh, of a Batman v Superman is disorganized. Lead for the movie that carries itself with unearned confidence. You see every card it's about to play in 10 minutes before the movie plays it. Yet Snyder doesn't just slap each one down on the table with gusto. He keeps pointing to it, telling you what rank and suit it is, or how to say the suit it is. We surely have submits that the identical first names of Bruce, then a biological mom, and Carol's adopted mother, Martha, could come into play eventually. But the film is so worried that somebody might not get it that it has the Thomas Wayne, uh, stated in his dying breath, Martha. Then it finds ways to keep repeating Martha over the next 2 hours, building towards a reprised flashback of Bruce's parents' murder that will bring latecomers up to speed. There are also other, re- they say, repetitive touches along these lines, including the multiple vocal assurance that the characters are fighting in deep, unfamiliar areas, clumsy defense strike against Men of Steel, hand-wringing. It all seems pointless when you realize how little effort has been devoted to um, embellishing the characters in Snyder's Nashville Science cast, none of whom are come alive as they did at the Tim Burns or Christopher Nolan or even the Joel Schumacher Batman pictures. Finally, I feel there's so much unnecessary stuff in the Batman v Superman. I, you know, uh, I say what I mean by unnecessary stuff in Batman v Superman, the Justice League stuff. I despise the JLA cameos, the more confirmation. The entire Wonder Woman premise is okay. I think Gal Gadot does a good job in her small cameo here, but still, there's no reason to have it here. I understand it's a shared universe, but the same argument I have about Strange and Endgame and the characters weren't handled well. But Wonder Woman and the JLA cameos are several minutes that could be cut out from the story. Batman's training isn't particularly relevant to the story, so perhaps a shorter montage could sped up the movie more. I mean, the whole movie just so much is like a little hard to get into. Then you get the guy, the man in the wheelchair that has the thing that has issues that were back to the start of the film, but this is why Snyder is more of a niche director. The city is soulless. It doesn't feel like it could be a world I'm living in. Even though you got the humans feel like placeholders in the city, like Legos set waiting to be smashed. The Doomsday stuff is also showing in there to have a big fight. In general, the comic book storylines that's famous both for Batman and Superman are also show in. But there's some positives, I will say. I think The performances of Ben Affleck is really good. It surprised many with a strong, battle-worn version of Batman, older, darker, and more brutal than the previous iterations. Then Henry Cavill, I like his performance here, but not as good as the first movie, Man of Steel. He continues his serious take on Superman, though the character is giving less emotional range this time. Then you got Gal Gadot. I mean, it does make a good standout debut as Wonder Woman, bringing the charisma and presence in the limited screen time. And then you got Jesse Eisenberg delivers a unique second version of Lex Luthor that divided the audience, which kind of did. Then you got the direction and tone. Zack Snyder leans heavily into the dark melody tone, presenting the heroes almost like gods among men. The film explores the big ideas like power versus responsibility, the fear of the unknown, hero worship, and accountability. Visually, the movie is striking with dramatic cinematography, slow motion sequence, and comic book inspired imagery. So that's the positives. Well, I mean, the positives is so I'm gonna give you probably like four positives, I would say. Batman and Affleck are great. I think the Bat Affleck was amazing. Ben Affleck represented Batman that is damaged, changing his motor code, which they played their cards right, could be the centerpiece of some solo Batman films, which we didn't get, but they made him more of a badass because of it, which is cool. Two, the action, I think amazing. The action is pretty good here. I think it's really exciting, beautifully shot. Zack knows what he does when he does the shots. They're really spectacular. Wonder Woman, surprisingly well done. As for Diane Prince, it may be a bit stiff sometimes, but she can make her character a long way. I trust her that much as her Wonder Woman was amazing. I think I got chills when she joined the fight. Her music, her theme, spectacular. And then lastly, the last positive I have to say, the cinematography is generally beautiful. The film looks really nice. I think it's good that the regular cinematography that Zack Snyder went with came back here for this movie and is really good. Now, the CGI, certain places are a bit meh, but same time, it's really good. Now, the bad stuff. Why this movie went that well. I think the editing and passing was really not good for this. I think the movie begins with a great introduction of Batman and some of the stuff you saw in the trailer. Then we go to a scene which tells us the story, then it goes to another scene. You're invested in that particular, and then jump cuts to another scene. You are seeing four different storylines play out in 5 minute scenes after each other. As general moviegoer, you will lose track. As a DC fan, like myself, I could understand everything, but I needed to bring all those previous knowledge to actually understand. Really bad passing here. And then two, I mean, look, I'm not a Superman fan, but Superman is a good character. But I have to say, not everyone will agree on this, but I think they handle Superman badly in this one for Batman v Superman. He needs to be the simple hope. Yet he's never exactly that. There was center certainty montage where it shown that he was, but it never felt that he was. This representation was too dark. This was also more of a Batman movie with Superman playing a small part in that. Yeah, Batman's world is too dark for Superman. If you want to combine the worlds, let's Batman play a role in Superman's role. And then you got Lex Luthor. I hate this representation of the character. Not, I think they get Lex Luthor. I think it's just the performance of Jason Eisenberg as this centric, evil, maniacal villain is not the right path. I think they could have maybe downplayed his eccentric twisty and made it more grounded. I think that's the big issue. But at the same time, it's not Jesse Eisenberg's fault. Then you get into Doomsday, a complete waste of a great story arc. Why did they bring him in while there was so much going on? I think they couldn't replace Doomsday to another Superman villain or Batman villain, maybe Blockbuster, someone like Grundy, Metallo, or whoever. Like, I don't think Doomsday needed to be here. And then fifth, the Justice League setup again felt really rushed. The way they shortened all the characters in was lazy writing. I mean, the fact that Lex Luthor built their logos was kind of funny in the theater. Um, Six, worst thing, the whole motivation of Superman's fighting Batman was kind of like wasn't clear, but it was not really good because at least Batman's motivation was clear and great, but Superman was kind of horrible. I get like even the adult edition, I don't really understand where they were coming from there. So they were just one conversation away from understanding each other, but they have a fight, of course. And then the lastly, many plot holes that I can't go into those because I don't want to spoil the whole film for you guys if you haven't seen this. So again, reiterate what works: bold, visual, impressive style. Ben, Aff- ben Affleck's take on Batman, really good. Wonder Woman's introduction and theme, fantastic. The concept of heroes being questioned by society, good theme. What doesn't work is the plot can be filled overstuffed and convoluted, and then pacing issues I mentioned before, especially in the first half, was really bad. Then the central conflict between Batman and Superman feels rushed, and then the Mothra moment. Come on, like it's a neat idea, but I think it wasn't executed right, and it has been criticized for resolving the conflict too quickly, which I agree. So overall, final verdict for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Happy 10th anniversary. Look, at least I'm happy that we got more DC films because of the Zack Snyder involvement. But at the same time, I think this devices but ambitious superhero film aims high with its themes and visuals, but struggles with the storytelling, clarity, and pacing. While not used, uh, while not usually loved, and has gained appreciation over the time, especially the Ultimate Edition. 10 years, it does provide some more content and smoother storytelling sense. So rating a 2.5 out of 2.5 out of 10, or 2.5 out of 5, whatever. So that's my review of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice 10th anniversary. Happy 10th anniversary, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.